All right, let's get everybody in the pool here. Jonathan Jones, Ryan Wilson. JJ, was this just a well-played football game where one team won and one team lost? Or do you have any sort of decisions that you didn't like down the stretch from the two coaches who had to decide whether they wanted to go, whether they wanted to punt, whether they wanted to kick, what they wanted to do here? How did you feel like it played out other than just a good football game where someone had to win?
Yeah, I actually just think it was a great football game. I think that Jimmy Garoppolo made so many fantastic passes there down in that final drive, and all the talk about, hey, they went up and drafted and moved up to number 3 to get Trey Lance. When are they going to start the rookie? Jimmy Garoppolo made the plays. He made the plays to win the game. Unfortunately, Kyle Juszczyk just went into the end zone a little too early. They left Aaron Rodgers with 0 timeouts, 37 seconds on the clock to get into field goal range. That was the mistake that Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers made.
It's funny you mentioned Jimmy G because we talked about this on that 4th and 4, the next to last drive, whether they should go for it or not.
Talking about Green Bay up 3, 4th and 4.
From the 20.
Deep in on the 20. And if you kick a field goal, you're only up 6, and you leave yourself open to a touchdown the other way. Go ahead.
And I was thinking kick the field goal, not because I don't trust Aaron Rodgers. I don't trust Jimmy Garoppolo. But as JJ noted, Garoppolo was up to the task in that final drive. He was inconsistent at points during the game, but the final drive, he did exactly what he needed to do. Found Juszczyk in the end zone. Deebo Samuels made some big plays leading up to that touchdown. But as JJ noted, and also, you have to ask some questions about the secondary in San Francisco. Davante Adams, as you mentioned, is the only show in town. 2 huge catches to move the ball in position to the 33 that allowed Mason Crosby to kick that game winner.
Yeah, my only thing would be I got to have somebody else beat me there other than Davante Adams when they're just throwing the ball every play. But I see what you're saying. I can live with this. Was a good football game back and forth. So, look, it's a 51-yard field goal. If he pushes it 2 feet left, San Francisco's jumping up and down. So forget the kick, which could have gone either way and did go Green Bay's way. Ryan Wilson, if you watched the game without a scoreboard and just watched every play, did the better team win tonight?
That's funny, EK. That's a hard question to ask because the first half was all about the Packers, and then we saw the very final drive of the first half that allowed San Francisco to get on that board after being down 17-0. And then San Francisco started things in the second half. They were rolling, and it looked like the Packers were on their heels. They got some breaks, found ways to get into the end zone, and then we saw how it ended there. I think, and JJ noted, this was a pretty evenly matched game. It's hard to pick a winner. It almost felt like a draw. The score indicated that it was a draw until the very last moment. It was a 1-point game until we saw Mason Rudolph, that would be something. Mason Crosby make the difference there. So I feel like both teams, as you know, you honk the field goal there, the 49ers coming on top, and you feel differently, but the results to me are the same in that the teams played really close.
You know, the officiating was bad in this game. There were a lot of officiating errors.
Matt LaFleur would agree.
Yeah, I mean, there probably should have been an intentional grounding at the end of the first half. That was not called. He was getting hit as he threw. There were any number of blown calls. There was a PI that should have been called or shouldn't have been called that was. So you talk about what was the scoreboard. Refs really made themselves a part of this game tonight.
Look, there's bad officiating, but if it's bad both ways, you see this like if a guy has a bad strike zone in baseball, but it's bad for everybody, that's fine. Did you feel like one team benefited or got a better whistle from the bad officiating, or did you feel like it leveled out?
It might have leaned San Francisco, if I'm remembering correctly. It might have leaned San Francisco.
How'd it feel?
But it wasn't just something like, hey, we got to check the judge's scorecard at the end of this. It wasn't that.
Okay. If you're looking at San Francisco, based upon this game, you go back to the film, where do they need to get better if they want to be where they want to be at the end of the year? And what about Green Bay? Where do they need to get better, each team? Go ahead, Ryan.
I'll say this. Brandon Ayuk, there's a reason he's not playing, and he has been inconsistent, and he dropped some balls early in the first half. And we can say Jimmy Garoppolo was inconsistent, which is what I just said. But he can't throw the ball and catch the ball. He needs help, and I think that's a concern. The offensive line allowed Jimmy to get hit. I think he took 3 sacks. It's not like the Packers' defense is setting the world on fire. They've been better this year than they were last year, but they were the better defense on the field tonight, and that's noteworthy and problematic if you're San Francisco. For the Packers, I think where you need to improve, you need to find other weapons other than Davante Adams.
Yep.
There's an argument to be had that Davante Adams shouldn't have been out there the final 15, 20 minutes of the game. He appeared to be knocked out on a bang-bang play over the middle of the field, an incomplete pass. He came back in. Certainly a neurologist cleared him, but I have questions about that, and the end result is that you need other weapons than Davante Adams, and Randall Cobb's the guy you wanted to make yourself feel good as Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers, we know he can get rid of the football quickly because he's surveying what your defense is going to do, and he's just going to mitigate whatever sort of blitz or pressure you're going to get. He was getting the football out extremely quickly tonight. Aaron Rodgers can do that because he's Aaron Rodgers, and he's one of like 3 people who still has a capable body enough to do that on this planet. So you can't really take what Aaron Rodgers shows and then apply that to your team. That's not what's going to work. For the San Francisco 49ers, I could easily sit there and say they need a better pass rush. Guys aren't going to be getting rid of the ball as effectively as Aaron Rodgers in 2.2 seconds. Okay, their secondary, we talked about it earlier, the San Francisco 49ers. They've had a lot of injuries back there. They're really banged up, and 3 of the 4 main defensive back positions, they played the entire game. You had Emmanuel Mosley, you had Tart back there, you had Jimmy Ward. But that other corner position, once Josh Norman went out due to injury, and we're going to find out more about that, they had to move Lenore over there. They had Dante Johnson, and then that was where Aaron Rodgers said, whatever rookie, whatever young guy, whatever unproven player I can get matched up against Davante Adams, I am then going to target Davante Adams. And so I do think that the Packers have some more options. It was just simply a matchup where Aaron Rodgers said, I can find the fish, I can find the young guy, and I like Davante Adams' chances really against anybody in the league, but I certainly like him against a bunch of dudes whose first names I don't even know.
We spent a lot of time on the pregame talking about the fact that Green Bay's offensive line, they've been banged up, especially the tackle position, backups to backups type of thing. And what do? They say, well, we have one of the 3 guys in the world and get rid of it quickly. That covers up a lot of the mistakes that we may make at the offensive line. We're not going to sit him back there all day long. And at one point in time, they flashed on the screen that he was 16 for 16 when he got rid of the ball in under 2.5 seconds. They adjusted. I liked Green Bay's game plan. Twofold. One, you pointed out, hey, if you're not going to double and make sure that Davante Adams doesn't beat us, we're going to keep throwing it to him. We don't care. And again, he had 18 targets, the rest of the team had 12. He had 12 catches, the rest of the team had 10. And the second thing is we are going to protect 12, and we trust him that he can get rid of the ball so quickly, so accurately, and so smartly that we can cover up this bad offensive line and we can be just fine. So I give Green Bay's, I thought their play calling, I thought their coaching, I actually thought they did a better job. Kyle Shanahan gets a lot of love, but I thought Green Bay actually was better in terms of the way that they prepared and did the game tonight. Now, all that being said, can that be a sustainable model going forward, where you can simply just say, Aaron Rodgers, catch it and get rid of it, catch it and get rid of it? Or is that something people will adjust to, and they're going to need to find a way to protect him long term, JJ?
I think they're definitely going to need to find a way to protect him long term. But David Bakhtiari will be back. He's not done for the season. He's still on that list for a couple more games. Elton Jenkins was close until we got later in the week, and then they realized, listen, he's not going to be able to go. This is one of our key offensive linemen, our best or our second best offensive lineman. We can't play him now. We need him for the season. Okay, that's fine. They have the young guys in the interior of the offensive line playing well and well enough. They're going to continue to learn and grow. We saw Aaron Rodgers have some sort of miscommunication with his center there in the first half. Those things are going to happen with a rookie there. What I loved about, we talk about the coaching, the scheming, the game plan. The San Francisco 49ers, whom I think all 3 of us would agree, top to bottom, the better team going into tonight, they led for 37 seconds all night. That's how long the San Francisco 49ers led. There was a fantastic game plan put together. Let's get points. Let's continue to get points. Let's limit the 49ers and what they do well. And the 49ers, again, they have the talent on their roster. They got out-coached tonight, out-schemed, and really outgunned by one of the best to ever do it in Aaron Rodgers.
And we talked about this before the game. Would we see Aaron Rodgers, the guy who mailed it in when things start going south, especially 2 years ago in 2019 when he came to San Francisco, and even in week 1 this year when it looked like they had no chance, and 2.5 quarters, he said, I'm done. We didn't see that guy early. They got on the board early. And to the question whether it's sustainable to throw the ball in 2.5 seconds with Aaron Rodgers, yeah, it is. He's not Ben Roethlisberger, who has to get the ball out in a hurry because he is so unathletically gifted at this point that he has no alternative. Aaron can still move in the pocket. He still throws the ball quickly, but he pushes the ball down the field, something Roethlisberger can't do at this point. So I think it is sustainable. I think the biggest issue for me is finding an alternative to Davante Adams, because when you do have a good game plan and you do double-team Davante Adams, what's that plan B going to look like? But I think Aaron Rodgers, when he's locked in and focused, he's the exact same MVP we've seen for the last decade.
Well done by Green Bay. We talk a lot about big threes, whether it's basketball, historically in football, all the way back to the Cowboys with Troy and Emmett, Michael Irvin. The big 3 of Green Bay, Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Davante Adams, very much on display on what they did on the road to get a win against the 49ers. And you want more of what we do football-wise? We have a great podcast, Pick Six Podcast. You'll love it. Download, subscribe, enjoy.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.